Hey YouTube, Matty Day 12 here at LegitMTG again, talking to the store manager, Cory Johnson, and one of the other guys that works around here, Kaelin Johnson, no relation.
It's my wife's name.
As odd as it sounds, yeah, that's his wife's name.
It really is.
That's odd. All right, but we're talking more about the Power 9 discussion. And whether it exists, whether it doesn't exist, what are they, that kind of stuff. Power 9 in Magic is what, Cory?
It is the Moxes, Time Walk, Time Vault.
When you say the Moxes, there's 5 different ones.
There's 5 Moxes. Black Lotus, of course. When was it? There was 8, and then there's...
What's the one that draws 3? What's the one that draws 3?
Ancestral Recall.
Yeah, Ancestral Recall. So those are the 9 cards, and why are they the power cards?
Because they are cards that are established in the game. They're super old, so they're very pricey. That has a little bit to do with it. But also, they're cards that are great in a vacuum. By this, I mean, I play this card. It does things on its own. It's really good on its own. I play this one. It's really good on its own. Like, they do so much on their own.
Okay.
Which is why I have a problem with a YuGiOh Power 9. Because when looking at YuGiOh cards, like this is a random pile of cards you've had me, which is all the suggestions I believe you've had.
This is all the cards that's been suggested.
This card. Let's go into some Dark Magician of Chaos. He is a monster that must be tribute summoned or special summoned. He also returns a spell card from your yard.
Yeah.
So, what happens when there's no spell card in your yard? He's just a 2800 beat stick. Wouldn't you rather be playing a Blue Eyes then?
Yes.
Like, let's see, another random card. Let's see. That's one I like, so hold on.
Hold on.
There's a few in here that I enjoy. Black Witch of the Forest.
Okay.
Super powerful card. Goes and gets things out of your deck, right?
Yes.
Hits all of the valid targets in the game, pretty much, I believe, right?
Everything
80%
except for
of your valid targets.
Yeah, 80% of the great monsters are, 1500 or less defense, so you can get it with that.
So let's think about this, YuGiOh players. What does this do on its own? What does it do by its own?
Not a whole lot, really.
Not a whole lot.
Just...
It's a, what, 1100?
Yeah.
She's 1100. Yeah, 1100. It's an 1100 creature. When it dies, you're going to get the monster.
Right.
But
what if you have no targets in your deck?
yes, if you have no good targets available to you.
We're working on nothing again.
Yes.
Alright, Crush Card Virus. Obviously, we all know it's a super powerful card.
Yes, and
Super
one
powerful.
of your criteria you were saying about the Magic is they're highly valuable.
Right.
This is actually the only one that I can think of that has a print of the card that can even come close to comparing.
And it is. It is. It's
as far as value.
right. As far as value-wise, so if that's actually one of our criteria, boom.
It's not. It's not. But
let's look at the card. What does the card do on its own? Well, on its own, it sets face down for the entire game.
until you get a monster. Yes.
Right, which means it needs an enabler.
Yes.
So on its own, in a vacuum, congratulations, you have a face down card.
Okay.
Alright, let's see. Monster Reborn. Wow, is that... You couldn't have got a better rarity?
It's...
Really? You bring the
It's
common?
starter deck Kaiba first edition.
I understand it started at Kaiba, but we got LOB ones. You could have got at least a shiny one. Anyway.
But without a good monster,
Right.
it's useless.
When you're bringing back Witch of the Black Forest with no targets again, we're on that bad plan again. I mean,
Yes.
There we are. Let's see. There are some cards that I like in this pile. Dark Magician will bring back my Monster Reborn. Yada. I like Yada.
Yada's a good card.
Yada's a good card. And he does things on his own.
Yes.
Now, granted, certain stipulations need to happen for him to be really good.
Yes.
Like, your opponent needs to don't have any cards in play or in the field or in their hand. Then he's insane.
Yes.
On his own, well, he gets crushed by this card we've already established does nothing on its own.
Yeah.
Dead bird. But he does something on his own. He has a really powerful effect that he can play on his own if need be. So, but he's still not that good because to be great, he requires enablers. Let's see. What cards do I like? I like Regeki.
Regeki.
It is a free wreck your opponent.
Okay.
It does things on its own. It kills all of your opponent's monsters on its own. All by its lonesome, it can 5-for-1 your opponent. All on its lonesome. 6-for-1 if they have a call. But Regeki is closer to a power card than anything else I've seen so far in this pile. There's still more in the pile.
There's still more in the pile.
There is more in the pile. Let's see. Let's see. Here is the best card in the game. Pot of Greed.
Pot of Greed.
It is draw 2 cards.
Yes.
You win. Cast Pot of Greed. It's good. It's real good. I mean, do you have any problems? Have you ever cast Pot of Greed and felt bad about it?
No. I can't think of any bad situations with Pot of Greed there would be.
I mean, unless you get no cards in your deck.
Right. Of course.
You don't need to play in your Pot of Greed then anyway. Alright, let's see. I like Harpy's Feather Duster. Again, it's the same thing as Regeki. Kill all of your opponent's stuffs. Wreck their stuffs.
Wreck the stuffs.
Wreck their stuffs. I'm not ripping this whole thing apart and yelling at every card in here.
I don't blame you. Bring up the painful choice. We were discussing painful choice. Let's get into the painful choice.
The painful
choice. What does painful choice do first?
Oh, let's see. Let's get an exact Oracle text here. Select 5 cards from your deck. Show them to your opponent. Your opponent selects one, adds it to your hand. The remaining go to your yard.
Okay. Now, before we hear the argument, have you ever played with this card?
I have not played with half of these cards.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just telling you from a logical standpoint.
From a logical standpoint, from a Magic player standpoint.
Not even a Magic player standpoint. A standpoint of realizing that the Magic Power 9 requires cards to be good in vacuums.
Fair.
So I know everyone is like, this card is amazing, and it very well. I've heard it several times that it may be the best card in the game.
Yes, I've said it.
But it's an enabler.
Yes.
What does it do on its own?
It does nothing on its own. Honestly, it gives it's a 1-for-1 on its own.
In a vacuum, it's very bad.
And I mean, as odd as it sounds, I compare Painful Choice to John Stockton. It makes John Stockton made every other player on the court better. That card, in my opinion, makes every other card available to you better.
It is.
Yes.
It does its job very well. But again, we're trying to establish power here.
Yes.
Which is the point of this article series, I believe.
Yes.
And in order to do this, you need to be in a vacuum.
Yes.
So. All right.
What's the Tinky argument? What's the Tinky argument on that?
I told him earlier. I was like, this card. I told him that this card is no better than Tinky right now.
Right now.
The
Painful Choice is no better than Tinky.
I'd rather play a Tinky because Tinky A tutors a guy out of my deck.
Yes.
It's going to get whatever.
But it couldn't cast it on him.
Beast Warrior.
Whatever Beast Warrior I need that's relevant. It gets my Wolf Bark if I need a Wolf Bark. It gets my Bear, my Gorilla, my Dragon. Dragon, right? It catches Dragon, doesn't it?
Yeah. Dragon.
Dragon's the guy. But it tutors the monster out of my deck that I need that's relevant for the situation. So I play my Tinky. +1 because I get my thingy, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, if I play my guy, this guy,
cannon at these guys,
most of them,
is kind of annoying.
Tinky is used as a resource to activate their ability.
These guys
Yeah.
So now Tinky does 2
I can
things.
charge it to their side.
Yeah.
So it does 2 active abilities that are progressive to the game. Also,
Where Painful Choice won't, and
right,
without paired with other cards.
Without another enablers. But it also has a static ability on the field that boosts my Beast Warrior that I just went and got. So
For
not
free.
Only, for free. So not only does it do this, go gets my guy, it makes him better, and it becomes a resource for whatever he needs to do. So yes, I thoroughly believe that right now Tinky is better than Painful Choice in the current format.
Disagree.
You have 5 cards you can choose with this. That already thins your deck down by 5 cards as it is. Essentially, you are going to get one of those cards back to your hand. So that is basically the same thing Tinky's doing in the first place.
Right.
Theoretically, what those 4 other cards that go to your graveyard do, I will agree, they are fodder for other things that can happen.
Okay, so say you Painful Choice and you're playing Fire Fist.
Okay.
You catch. Look at this. Sleeves are different colors. Come on, one more color.
We're going.
I need a pink. Yeah. All right, you catch 5 different cards.
Okay.
Obviously, you're gonna have probably Tinky. You're gonna have probably because that's the best. Let's discuss this. You're gonna have a bear.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a wolf bark.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably have a gorilla.
Okay.
And I would probably say you go ahead and you get a pot of duality. Just because if I pick this, you have a choice of going back into these.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you not the trap, because then you still get to do something better than painful choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna give you the wolf bark, because then you get to get whatever back I don't give you. You're probably gonna get like the gorilla or the bear, because I still don't want you drawing cards. So you've done effectively the same thing as Tinky.
But essentially, you are only looking at this through the standpoint of playing this in Fire Fist.
No, I am. That was my whole point of the argument was the painful choice is no better than Tinky is right now in the current form.
Right. But if you're using painful choice in something other than Fire Fist, not just saying because of the fact of Tinky, because Tinky can be played in Constellars and other things of this nature as well.
Right.
So before we even get onto that, painful choice can still be put in other situations where it's going to be better than Tinky.
The Dragon Rulers is an excellent point to bring up with that.
And I play it in Glad Beast too.
You would play it in Glad Beast also?
I play Tinky in Glad Beast.
Yes.
I can go get a Quarry or one up there that I play. So it does things. It boosts my Darius and all that good stuff. But in a vacuum, Tinky's better. Because this gets a guy. In a vacuum, Tinky would get a guy.
And the point, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to bring Cory into this. The point that Cory is making is that painful choice is a catalyst for other cards. Right. Tinky is a catalyst for itself.
Right.
Tinky can build on its own play to make additional plays for everything else. But this is exactly what I was looking to do, guys. I was looking to start these, to bring this up, to start these kind of conversations, not to end them. This is not a list put together to be the end all of lists.
I want to see someone take my logic and throw it in a garbage disposal and come back at me with something where I go, oh yeah, you're right.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Subscribe, comment down below. Show us how much you love us.
Bad.